So in this next topic, I'm going to show you exactly on how to get the lowest monthly payment on a Tesla possible by using this financing partner. And of course, this financing partner is actually Tenet. Shout out to Tenet for sponsoring this segment or this video. And I'm going to show you because Tenet's a good sponsor because they give you a different way on how to finance your vehicle. I know a lot of you will come to the channel here because you want to figure out how to get the lowest financing rate. Well, I'll just be upfront. Tenet doesn't have the lowest financing rate, but they give you a different ability to get the lowest monthly payment possible. So we'll go through some use examples, and I'll give you my exact strategy on how I would use Tenet to get the lowest monthly payment on a vehicle. And if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And shout out to Tenet for sponsoring this video. Of course, always being a partner when we're, I'm going to try and get Tenet to do a really cool giveaway as well next month, not next year. So let us get into this. So Tenet, if you don't know what they are, they're basically a financing company that is in the tech space, and they are able to finance EVs a little bit differently because they understand that electric vehicles are just better vehicles, are different vehicles that don't necessarily have other issues like other vehicles. And so they can offer you different financing products on these vehicles that can lower your monthly payment or have low monthly payments that are different from other types of vehicles out there. And so what they actually do is they allow you to defer a portion of the loan off till next year or even to the end, and they allow you to even defer as minimum or as even amount of like $7,500, which is like the federal tax credit, right? So if you don't know right now, there is a $7,500 federal tax credit on a Model 3 or Model Y. And of course, you don't get this right off the bat. You don't get it immediately at point of sale. You get this money when you yourself qualifies next year when you file for your taxes next year before April, like February to April. You get this as a added money back to your tax refund. And of course, there's a whole other video on what makes you qualify as an individual yourself as a person. But there are some details here on the Tesla website in which people can actually qualify for the federal tax credit. But going back to Tenet, they allow you to defer that amount, the $7,500, even more or even less, off of the monthly payment, which then allows you to get a very low monthly payment, maybe even $150 a month based upon their example here. And reasons why you would do this, why it would make sense, because there is a strategy, when we'll go through how this could make sense. There's a strategy where you defer the $7,500 out of the payment, get a low monthly payment, and then next year when you get that $7,500 back on your taxes, you can then pay off Tenet, and then you'll be good and square to go. And then potentially even if the interest rates and all the different things go down next year, you could then refinance the whole thing at the end of the day. Because yes, Tenet is not a low interest rate like some of the other credit unions and banks that we recommend. Maybe, of course, those are like 4%, but really a 5% or 5.5% that Tesla has for only a year until you get that tax credit back is really not that much interest relatively, I guess, at the end of the day. So I've got an auto loan calculator right here. I put in $55,000 and so actually, no, this is if we did 5.5. So I've got $55,000, 72 months at a 1% interest rate over 72 months. And of course, if you take a look right here in year one, if you were to take the hypothetical situation that I talked about, then you would be seeing that we would pay an elevated interest of $509 in just year one. And then you refinance the whole thing next year. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense to you that you can get a lower monthly payment. Why people would want a monthly payment? Usually that's more directed to people that use Teslas for business, like maybe like an Uber driver that wants less liability each month and wants more cash flow for whatever the reason, or people that might be using it for their other business. They want other cash flow. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Check out Tenet down below in the description if you want to check out to see how they can take your situation to finance your vehicle at a lower monthly payment. And yeah, thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this section. Hopefully this makes a lot of sense. And if you have any questions on Tenet or even financing in general, drop it down in the comments or even the live stream, because we get to every single comment and answer every single question on that. So hopefully if you have any questions, drop it in the comments and we'll drop back into the live stream. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by Tenet. So definitely check it out, and thank you to Tenet for sponsoring.